Well, it is totally awesome fishing time again, and I am down on the River Wye, Hereford District, AA, just a day ticket stretch. Been into Woody's tackle, he told me where to go. I'm also testing this mic cover out actually with the, hopefully it all comes out, otherwise I'm talking to you like that. So I've got one feeder rod out there. It's an area I've fished before. It is very low. You know, this is back end of the autumn. Should be some chub around, fingers crossed if I catch something. But as you can see, it still looks nice. No weed in it, devoid of weed. Strange sort of whiffy sort of smell I've got here. Got even quarter rod, £6 line straight through. I've got a buzzer there, bright indicator, just in case it gets slammed over. I'm looking away filming. I've got my hook there, you see, look, just to hold it down. So if it goes up, it comes up against that. Just gives me a split second to grab the rod if I'm filming ground bait or something like that. Ground bait, pretty well straight bailies, but with some pellet in there. I don't know what they are, 8mm trout pellets in there, and I've got some lumps of meat. Now, what I'm aiming to do is I've already thrown 4 ground bait balls out. There's a bite with a stone in them. This is usually pretty snaggy. I've got my homemade mesh feeders. So I say they're disposable. I don't really want to dispose of them at all. But it is snaggy there. There's a big fallen willow over there. It shallows up. There's a broken sign. Probably says no fishing now in my luck, but there's a sign there. It says warning something or other. Warning no fish probably. But I aim on getting the swim going here if I can with feed, and then I'm going to wade out, put some waders on and go rolling some luncheon meat around. That's the theory anyway. So basically I'm on pellet, banded pellet there, about 3 foot long trace, possibly fish 2 rods here for a while, maybe the first hour, see what the bite situation is like. Woody said luncheon meat's going well. There was a swim downstream, he said, oh. Hang on guys, hang on, that's a barbel. Oh Jesus, oh, that's not a chub. I've got the camera in my mouth. That's first cast guys, if I get it. Oh, please just get one. I just want one barbel. These are my favourite species, really, barbel. Not this method. Oh, I'm not too far away now. Trick drag. Not a big fish. Listen, oh, look at this. He's pulling me downstream, pulling line. I'll probably have to net him down there. Take your time, Graham. Just take your time, mate. I'm going to try and get the head cam off for you, but I don't want to lose the fish. That's better. Both hands free. Not a big fish. I would take any barbel. I have no problem with them at all. Still pulling me. Oh no, he's not bad. Oh my goodness me. I had a horrendous 3-hour drive this morning. Did about 20 miles with diversions around that Ross. The previous year I fished here, I went to Ross. That sent me halfway across God knows where, Scotland it felt like. I'm going to go for this one. He's in. Oh, please, yes. Yes, I haven't even, look, guys, I haven't even got the mat ready. Wet it for Nambyville. Keep them boys happy. If I've got waders on, I just... Look, I'm going to show you the... Let me get around the best light. I cannot believe that. Not a big fish. There's my homemade cave feeder. Made out of garden fencing, people. Oh my God. He's just hooked on the outside there. I've got to hold him like that because I'm kneeling down with it, guys. There's a fish. They are an iconic species. I feel for their future, I have to say. Just let him recover there. Cold water, he's gone. Get right in. Wow. That was just a backup with a feeder aiming to build up the swim. I think that's the first barbel I've caught the camera like that with the first cast. I got it on camera as well. At least you know we're honest John here. We're not doing all those fake strikes. Now the feeder I've got there, stopped by a bit of valve rubber there, just to cushion it a bit. And oh look, I've got the chair now, as if I'm going to cast the chair out. What a stupid child. Always check if you get tangled that the pellet is still okay. And that deposits a huge amount of ground bait in one go. I've got to remember where I was casting now. That's about right. I bump it just once, if you notice that. I only just do that one bump, and I don't put it anymore in case I put it into a snag. Guys, I think I'm going to put this up here because that was a hell of a take, and it actually pulled my stake out here. And we're going to get a second rod rigged up. I've just found some bigger pellets. That's the normal size I've been using, and I found these, and these are about 2 years old. They might even be bigger, as long as you seal them up tight in a plastic bag. And I put that inside a Tupperware sealed box. Look, they're way bigger. Now that was the one I caught on. Start again. That's the one I caught on, and that one's twice as big. Am I making a mistake trying a bigger one? I'll put one on that feeder, and I think I've got to put one on this other feeder and give it a go before I go to lunch and meet. So all I'm doing, hopefully it's not going to rain. They forecast it, but I hate fishing under bodies. Get your pellet stretcher, put your band on, make sure it's right in the middle if you can, so it doesn't pull off, because it might roll around in the current. I've got a number 10 very sharp hook. I think it's a camasan, but quite impressed with them. I know I've got about, look, well actually I've got more than that. I've got a good 4 feet or more, maybe 4 to 5 feet of leader length there. I think I put the wrong reel. It's got a 6 pound line, but it's still might not have enough line on it. I don't know. There was a bang. See, now you see the reason I've got the buzzers, because as I'm looking here, if I'm going to film and sorting out talking, I just look away, I might not see it. So that was a bang. That means the fish is moving around. Could be a chub, of course. Now, these feeders can deposit quite a lot of ground bait. And if I work for an hour just rotating these two, I'm hoping, oh look at that, look. I'm hoping to pull fish up from under that tree there. That's not a bite, guys, it's just me messing around. Look at the state of me. So it's what barbel fishing does to me. Terrible. You can see it's a bit like bomb sight. I've always spread my gear all over the place ever since a kid. It's terrible, really. Just bait here, bait bucket there, chair. Oh, there's a bang. Now, some of these could be line bites. You know, where fish are moving backwards and forwards across a swim like this and they bang into the line. Some could be mouthing it, chub, pulling down and spitting it out. I tend to think those springy ones like this are line bites, which I don't mind, because at the end of the day it tells me there's fish moving in the swim. Amazing how you get one fish first cast. Very, very rare for me to, well, I didn't even expect it, to be honest. I thought of one barbel maybe this evening. So I've got to give it an hour to try and build this swim up. And I'm going to leave these smaller pellets in there. If I don't get bites on the big pellet, I'm going to actually go back to those small ones again. If it does rain, it's looking, if I pan around here, pretty ominous. I just felt a few spits and spats of rain. And I only bought a small umbrella. I could have bought the big one, made a mistake. I thought I know best. I know more than the weather people. So I think I'll move my trolley back here, because this will be almost impossible to get a brolly into. At least I can balance it somehow there. Right, give me a minute to get tidied up, people. See, these are fishing and feeding the swim while I'm sorting myself out, and I can get some waders on. In an hour's time I can go and start rolling a piece of meat through there, and even if I want to, wade down and try further swims further down, because the feed's going that way. I know up this way is generally snaggy. I've already been in one boulder over there, so I've got to come just to the middle, 3/4 of the way across, and just hopefully one of these two, if one's snagged, hopefully that one isn't. One thing I have noticed is a sort of lack of minnows. Now I know this is looking at October here, I am, in case people want to know when I'm doing it. You normally put a ball of ground bait over, it's smothered by tiny minnows. I will put a ball out there and see if anything comes in, just to let you guys. The first time I've ever seen it as devoid of life as this. But let's say how I'll settle for the barbel instead of the minnows. Put a little pinch in there. Or was it? Yeah, it was me. Just see if any small minnows do come in there. You can see the ball of ground bait. See how fast it breaks up. I'm sure they will swarm around. Yeah, they're in there. They are small minnows. It's because it's not summer, and that's the reason I use these big feeders, because these minnows will eat all that ground bait and about as fast as you want. I'll come back to that in about 10 minutes. That patch there, and that will have gone. The benefit being with the pellet is hard. They can't take it. Whereas if I use luncheon meat, I get a couple of bangs. That could mean a chub's chewed it off, bitten it off, a dace. Whereas with the pellet, it's harder. Chances are it's still on there, so I can have a bang, and I'm quite happy leaving it there. Well, here come the boats. It doesn't really bother the fish. It bothers the anglers more than it bothers the anglers more than it bothers the fish. So I'm not. Look, just had a whacking bite. I think that's chub. I've had 2 of those, and the youngsters paddling all over the place. Now look, just banging away here. The boat will go over them, spook them, and you just got to wait for them to come back. It's just the way it is. I think that small chub banging away at that one. Oh god, there's a team of them. Hopefully he's an instructor, I'd imagine. It would be nice if somebody knows what they're doing. We've all got to share the river, and that's the way it is. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 of them. I think I'll wind in. I'll keep the rods down low, and then hopefully they just go to the top, because they haven't got a keel or anything. Holy Christ, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 14 people. I suppose if in a few minutes I don't get any bangs on these, I might actually try a little cube of meat. I'm going to have to put the brolly up here, because I'm not sure on the wind with this mic. I might just lay the brolly there to kill the sound off. Right, just cast out. First cast after those canoes went through. I think I got a chub on a pellet. It took on the drop. I don't see this being a barbel, or maybe it might be a small barbel, but I think it might be a chub. So you see what I mean about the boats? They are really annoying, but it's best just to wind in, give it 5 minutes, calm down, put the machine gun away and the hand grenades, and then just cast out again. Those earlier bangs I did think were a chub, and indeed this looks like a nice chub, quite a nice chub. Get you guys a bit of picture there. Oh, you get a swan in the net as well. Oh, yeah. Tell you what, this one's quite a nice chub for the River Wye. I don't really get a lot of decent chub. I've had one good session here once with. That's a nice chub. I'm pleased with that. Let's get it back and get that feeder out. You've got to admit that it's quite a jumbo feeder. Untangled from the tip. And that was more towards the middle of the river. Oh, Jesus. That's what. That'd be a chub, I dare say, but you can see why I've got the beepers there. It's tempting to go float fishing because it looks lovely for running an Avon float through there. Maybe I'll try it, maybe not, because I do just as well touch ledgering and free line it, let it go round. But I quite like this time of year, before all these leaves come down in the water. If you're ledgering and the leaves are on the water, they're all floating down, they're catching in the line, building up, giving you false bites. I've got a leaf out there now, you can't see it, but you know, I just find it annoying, although it's a very good time to fish. Later in the autumn when they're down, I'm going to say end of October, early November, you could still get barbel and chub, but there's more leaves carpeting the riverbed, so your pellet might, or your bait, lunch meat, might be inside and get covered all the rubbish on the bottom. So I don't bother, you know, fishing really sort of slack water. Then I'd sooner fish a bit faster. In my opinion, that way the leaves have been sort of washed through. If you had a circulatory area like over there, then you might get, well, I can see leaves on the surface now already that are just circulating. They will eventually sink, go to the bottom, and they just stay there. Possibly doesn't bother the fish, but it will bother me to think my bait's, you know, not visible to the fish. Generally barbel, September is the month, really. September and October if it's mild, not flooded. For most, generalising across all rivers. I think I'm going to cube up some bits of meat and just give it a go. You can buy your meat in cans, you know, in tins. I personally buy the cheapest I can. I don't necessarily buy the top brand, which is quite expensive now for some peculiar reason. I don't see why that lunch of meat is the same as everybody else. It is in a different can, it costs more. But you can also possibly buy it a bit cheaper. Like this is several years old. In a big circular lump, they whack it off like that, and then you cut off what you want. I've had this in the freezer for ages. I just skim off the top. If you see there, look, it's not the world's best. Of course it's not, because it's been in a freezer 2 years, 3 years. But you know, this might be good enough to use as loose bait for catapulting out. There's a bit better there. So I trim it all back to this. Get rid of the rubbish off the top. So that would have been stuff that a lot of people possibly might. I'll get rid of the grey stuff if you like. Look, there, basically got half a tin of meat there. The rest I can just cube up and I can catapult out loose, and they'll just get shoveled down by the chub, I should think. Because I do envisage the food going down under that tree I'm not casting too close to the tree yet. I'm baiting here and then seeing what I pick up, you know. The rolling meat, if I lose anything in a snag, it's only going to be a hook and a shot. Well, it's gone quiet on me, so I've changed over and I'm using one of these Palatats grips chod hook. Now, I don't know what a chod hook is. It invented by, Jesus, that's a Bible, Arthur J. Chod is what I was going to say. I'm going to try and get down from this fish. I know there's a snag there, people. That's not a chub. That is not a chub. That's a bush grab. Oh, it's about fish. He's taking me out. Wallop straight over. Just try and change into a piece of meat. Oh, 2 barbel would be nice. I got hung up several times slightly to the right. So I'm hoping he doesn't get round a boulder. Woody in the tackle shop said there's hardly any weed in the river. You'll be pushed to find weed, Graham. So hopefully the feeder won't get buried into stream of weed. It'll get, well, it won't get buried into anything, but it'll go around a rock or a boulder, because the Wye has some big boulders in it. See, I put the brolly up there. Trying to get a bit of wind off me. There he is. I see him, I see him, I see him. Double cameras, guys. Look, man films with 2 cameras and a barbel on the end. Anybody else doing this? I fear not. There he comes. There he goes. Oh no, it's about fish, this one. Smooth, steady and smooth. There's the feeder. And you can see that fish there. A feeder made from garden fencing. Gotta love it. Also be aware that feeder can pull the hook out when it's out of the water like that. I can't zoom in anymore because I've got to land the fish. Away he goes. Wowee. Here comes Mr. Swan. Oh, he's taking me out again. Psst, shove off, Swan, you twat. You wish you can go through the line. Go on. Psst, psst. Go off and see the Queen. She's the one that owns you, apparently. Well, I can't say that now, can I? Better fish, look way. No wonder I like them. Look how they fight, guys. I mean, look. Bending the rod. This setting in the river. He won't like that shallow water. I'll just click on back wide and see if we can get this fish out for you. Well, it might not be a need to go to lunch and meat, maybe just grind away. No, no. Here he comes. He's in. Got him. Oh yeah, bigger fish. That's a nice, what I call traditional River Wye barbel. Maybe you can see him. Wow, 2 barbel. That was worth a 3-hour drive, even though I was cursing at all the tackle. And there, look guys, there's the pellet. See it? Just nicked there. So I've got the pellet and the band back. What a beautiful coloured fish. In good nick. That's really nice. Nice across the back. Let's get him back. Wow. I'm still going to try that that luncheon meat, I think, just to see. I mean, look, I'd certainly catch a barbel over a chub any day. Shove off, pal. Go on. I'm not a lover of swans. Pain in the ass. Right, have we switched off here? Check, check and check. Alright. I don't mind if I do get through this ground bait, because then I'll just go on meat. If I have a couple of barbel, I'm well pleased. That wasn't so far. Didn't cast quite so far. over, I would say mid-river, possibly there. Hit the bottom, bump once. The luncheon meat one, I'm going to cast down towards that tree and just take a gamble, because there might be chub under that tree. Look, indeed, there could be barbelled wire buried under that. Oh, don't go there. I wish that swan would shove off. Psst, go on. Bloody things, I hate them. So a big piece of meat, bigger hook. I'm feeling this piece that's been frozen is a little bit soft. So it'd be a one bite wonder and the chub will have it off. Here we go. 2 barbel. Wow, I'm well pleased, well pleased. Meat's come off already. Where the hell did that go? I did think it might be a bit soft. Let's see if it stays on for the cast. I just take a gamble downstream. No, it's come off. Okay, I've got to open a fresh one. That other stuff's going to go in for loose feed. What I do is wind down and hit the feeder hard to get it off the riverbed, so I don't wind it into a snag. Let's get some fresh meat, as they say. I recently repaired this catapult. It's a Matchman's one, so I've no idea whether it's any good for... Oh, it is actually good for getting meat out. Now that's going to float straight down and be eaten by the chub, but if it's too soft for the hook bait, it sort of doesn't matter, does it? I think I'll go further upstream. Mr. Swan likes to look at that. I'm sure that the small chub will clean all this up. Yeah, that is very soft. Yeah. Also, it's sticky. It's like tacky. I think I'd be better off doing one at a time, which is sort of tiresome. Right, I'll work away at this first. I think I've got a chub again. Yeah. I do like that luncheon meat. Down by that tree, there must be loads under that tree. Oh, he's okay. They sound wicked here. I'll take those all day long. Well, I think I pressed it off instead of on. I was just at a third barbel about 4.5 pounds ago. I suppose, you know, it's a bit annoying to say the least, but that was on luncheon meat in case that last clip didn't come out, because I don't think I pressed the switch right again. I don't think it matters which bands you use. Some seem a bit stronger than others. But at least I was pleased to get that chub And that banging bite, that's definitely almost sure a chub. I find the barbel jim, another bang. I find the chub give you a bang and leave it, take it and spit it out. With the barbel, take it, turn away, and because I'm using such a big feeder, if you're going to see Woody, Woody does sell big feeders. He hasn't got my homemade ones, obviously, but it's a heavy feeder, and that gives them something to sort of shock against, I feel. Doesn't work with a chub, it does, I feel, work with a barbel. Yeah, I've got my new wind muff system on this one as well, so I don't know whether that's going to pick up. Actually, I got on a snag out there, and I put a lot of pressure on. I just wonder if I've opened that hook up a little bit. If you're going to close it, always check that. You know, when you, yeah, it feels like that might be it's a very sharp hook, but I might have to change that. It might be a soft wire. That Camasan one, I don't know. Answers on a postcard. Matchman will tell you, they know which are good hooks or not. Get on there. Now some people go through the band, or you can go under the band. Most of the time I just get the band back anyway. And you'll get the band back if you put the hook point through the band, you know, there. But I haven't, I've gone under it, and I still find I get them back most of the time. I will get through this ground bait. I normally do this over the bucket, but I'm doing it because the camera's there. Just to give an idea, I squeeze it quite tight. It's not ripping the current, but you've seen those minnows. I showed you that bit, you know, earlier on. I do a before and after. You can see that is a real chunk, and about at 3, 4. I'm about 4 feet with the length of the leader, trace, link, whatever you want to call it. Trouble is, I go from sea fishing to trout fishing to big game fishing, shark fishing, leader, snood, always different names. Let's get this one out there. I was just casting out the luncheon meat and it got a bang straight away on the drop, barely. It's only a small chub, what we call it, a chublet. A pound, I suppose. Took it straight away. That's down by that tree. One giant feeder and a giant step for a chub. With a giant piece of luncheon meat, actually. Let's try that again. Here comes the rain. Had a huge wrench round bite then, guys. On the meat, cast downstream. If it's a chub, it's a decent chub. Pretty sure it's not a barbel. Yeah, it's a chub. Here he comes, here he comes. There's the feeder. Nice chub. This is a nice chub, people. Look. That's a good one. Water on the lens, lovely. There we go. A few scales missing on him. That's a nice one. The size of the mouth, you can see the size of the luncheon meat I can use. Never seen somebody 71 move as fast as that. That's what filming, trying to make films for you guys is about. Lunch meat again. And I feel a barbel. So I'm just about to set the camera up to think that looks a nice shot. I'll set that up while there's no bites going on. Wasn't exactly a nibble, was it? Let's then calm down. Barbel. I mean, I'm sort of shell shocked. Or luncheon meat shocked, I should say. Why I fish with those bite indicators. Because they're just a bonus. They're a backup. If you're looking away, you're getting a flask of whatever, some sandwiches looking in the rod can go. There's a bite on the left hand one. There he goes. There he goes. Ridiculous. Might be a chub this time. No, it ain't a chub. Pretty sure it's not. Yeah, this right hand rod with the pellet's gone dead. Got a think it might be a chub or a small barbel. Still can't put it, tell it, chub. Yeah, it's a chub. I don't get it down to the right angle. Where's that small barbel? No, it's another small barbel. I think I've got to go with double meat, guys. I mean, I don't need to hook two at once, that's the only trouble. Just looking at this, it's a weird one, it doesn't look like a chub. Let me get the net, hang on a second. Luncheon meat. What else? Big dace? There's a huge piece of luncheon meat. It's only a wild brown trout. Well, that's a nice one too. A wild river brown trout. Now that's what you call a wild trout tail. That would be nice on a fly, or what a beaut. Absolutely immaculate. Let's get him straight back. He's as fat as a barrel. He's been eating minnows, I reckon. Check that one out. He's definitely as fat as you could want. Just let him recover. There he goes. Just grab the rod. Look, I've dropped one. Grab the other. I mean, the luncheon meat hit the seabed, riverbed, or whatever I'm fishing on. Right, I'm not joking. I think it's another barbel. My God, that's ridiculous. That's just by moving from here to there. I couldn't even get the other one baited up. I hope I've got enough memory card and battery for this trip, because I was banking on a few chub and one barbel. This is definitely a barbel. There he is. Nice fish too. Sometimes I walk backwards like this so I don't give them the time to do this, because when you drop to wind, very often a fish's head will turn the other way and he's away. God, he's coming in nice and smooth. Look. Coming in lovely. Or was. Or not. I believe that's that feed up the top end I put in with the pellet feeders trickled down there and they're laying down the back. Possibly under that tree. Come on, babe. No, it's still not ready. Still not quite ready. Never rush a barbel. They can break the line relatively easily. He's in. Pretty much the same size. It might be a little tad bigger. And of course, does anybody actually know what a tad is? A tad bigger. Look, just nicked in the edge, hook comes out, so he might be a little bit frisky. There we go. Just a superb, well, they're the best. I think they're one of the best. They are the best fish in the river, surely. I mean, if you hooked a 20-pound barbel and a 20-pound salmon back to back, I'll tell you which money mine's on this guy. That makes up for the one that I didn't film 10 seconds earlier. If I cast this out again, guys, I'm going to try and leave the camera running just for a few seconds. Right, take a risk, and obviously you won't see a thing now probably, but we're going to try it. Nearly tread on my own rod there. I think I'm about right. Just bump it once. Put it down. Okay, that's how it was, and I was just doing this. I was just banding a pellet. Watch that rod, people, while I do this. The Smith should be on duty on bite detection. That was ridiculous, straight away. I can't band properly there because I'm watching. Four. Oh, look, there's the bite. That could have been a chub. Maybe I should be fishing meat on both. 5 chub, 4 barbel. There's the pellet banded. I'm going to risk turning my back on it. No, that's me knocking it. A little bit, I should damp that down a little bit more. But I mean, it's working, so what can I say? Maybe not so far with the feeder rod and the pellet. I think I'm okay. See, the feeder actually rests in amongst the rocks sometimes. Well, the minute I put the camera on non-stop, absolutely nothing happens. 5 and 4. I've got to lose count. I've got rid of the swan as well. Well, I didn't obviously concrete him in the M4 motorway, that type of get rid of the swan, but I probably could, I suppose. I've got a cement mixer. I'll shoot him down with a landing net. You got the message, but Donald Duck hasn't over there. He took lots of the loose meat that I catapulted out there. Right, I'm going to bring this off the safe battery because we don't know what the afternoon is going to bring. Got to get a cap out to Lucky Cap somewhere. What I also do is when I've got a pair of quiver tips, especially in the river because the currents can bump them, is I fish one outside and one inside, so they're like, instead of having a pair of rods, they're like this. So I cast the right hand one perhaps a little bit longer and the other one a little bit shorter, so they're just one feeder's here and one's there on the current. I've got two lots of ground bait going down because if you've got one feeder up here, here's the current, here's the fish coming up the river, feeder here, river's going that way. I don't see how they're going past this feeder to get that one, you know. Maybe they will, but I think they're going to bang this line first, so I try and fish side by side. That's just me. It gives it about 1 o'clock, and then I try lunch of meat, just rolling a piece of meat through on a bigger hook and a treble A shot, and see if I can't get more on the chub. And I've still got a chance if I use a big enough piece of lunch of meat to get a barbel as well. Strange, isn't it, getting that barbel first cast, first chuck, 2 minutes. The other rod's not even put together, bang, over it goes. I'd like to get a second one. I'm greedy. I don't think it's unreasonable, do you? Got some heat in this October sunshine. Because it means nothing, because I put these films up when I fancy putting them up. So I can put a January one up in July or a July one up in January. It makes no difference. I put up what I want when I want. Sometimes I put a summery one up in the winter to try and cheer people up. And sometimes it pisses them off because they can't go fishing and it makes them want to go fishing. But I have to stockpile because I'm not fishing flat out food. That's what the buzzer's there for. Flat out through the winter, freezing my bits and pieces off are next to nothing. I've done all that years ago when there were plenty of fish. It's hard enough then, now it's even worse. And age, of course, that makes a difference. Hang on, guys. He's got in the other line. I'm taking the jump off. See if I left the reel on back wine by mistake. I actually left the reel on back wine by mistake that time. I think I'm under the other line. I got a feeling there's a whack load of fish under that under that tree. I just got that feeling. Still not sure what this is. What a session. Haven't even thought of free lining yet, guys. It seems sort of pointless. I can barely sit down. I think this might be a chub. I've got meat on that other one over there as well now, so I'm on double meat, big cubes, big cubes. Is this a chub? What the hell is that? It can't be another barbel. Jesus, if it's only another barbel, he's not fighting. Yeah. 7 barbel. Get real. That's ridiculous. Oh my God. And that's a different fish. You know, you say you're catching the same fish. No, I'm not. So you've got different marks underneath them. I don't like the look of those marks, whatever they are. It might be something to do with what's in the water with those chicken farms I keep reading about. Seven. I'm just going to say that the net's got to be just that way on a slight slope. I know you think I'm bonkers. A 7 barbel, 6 chub and a wild brown trout by 2:15 in the afternoon. Oh, I've got to cut some more meat up. See, sometimes it's just literally gone quiet now, and I always think, what should I do? Should I go back to pellet? Should I change this? Should I change that? And at the end of the day, I know that it's highly unlikely that both of those are going to be in a snag. Maybe one, but the other one should be fishing. And I'm trying to drop them pretty much in the same area, just one inside and one slightly outside. But what I think I'm getting these rod wrenching takes, I know barbel, I've done enough barbel fishing for 50 years, I know what the takes are like. But I think here, with my feeders, those cage feeders, if you're on what I call fine gravel, let's say Hampshire Raven, somewhere like that, or a gravel run, it's gravel, it's tiny stones. How can I put it? Look. It's this stuff. It's like that, isn't it? It's gravel. When they pull, you can get what's called a sort of drop back bite. So you get the pull down initially as the fish takes it, and he dislodges the feeder, and he goes bump, 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 bump down, and you'll get this sort of drop back bite. Now, don't wait for them to pull down, just wind down and strike. It's what we call sea fishing, beach fishing, a slack liner. So he's basically moved the swim feeder off the gravel. But here, the great big stones and boulders out there. So I think my old feeders, those garden fence feeders I've made, or any feeder in fact, would lodge behind a big stone or boulder or rock or something like that. And as he pulls away, it's almost acting like a bolt rig. That's what I'm wondering. So as soon as he pulls and he actually makes a movement away, he feels that restriction, bam, it's almost like a bolt. I'm thinking this, look, I've been barbel fishing for God knows how long. There's still stuff to learn, there's still stuff to think about. All fishing's like that. See, there's plenty of tension in the rod tops there, so the current, although this is low, it's still, you know, a decent body of water going through there. And the other thing I was told, well, I was up on the River Severn, I've mentioned it before, with Mal Story, who's a barbel expert up there, in his time, top match guy. He came down, we were doing a film up there, and he said, I'll come and see you in the afternoon, see how you're getting on, Graham. I probably told you before, how are you doing, Graham? It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock. I was with Michael, nothing. Why is everybody just sitting around like this, all up and down the bank? I said, we're all feeder fishing. He said, no, you don't feeder fish like that. And I said, look, show us what you do. 3 minutes, bang, in. Sit and wait, 3 minutes, bang, in. 3 minutes, 3 minutes. That's all it was. He said, these people just, and I was one of them, that do this, you chuck it out, you get tired, you think, I'm not getting any bites. He said, well, you won't, because all the small fish have eaten all the bait, which is what I've learned and applied here with the minnows. And that's why I got half a bucket of ground bait here, is because you got to get through the bait to draw the barbel out to get them feeding. So I've made sure I've bought enough bait, enough luncheon meat, enough pellets to work on Mal Story's principle. And he wasn't wrong, because he caught one within 6 casts. You know, you feel almost embarrassed, don't you? But I know he's an expert, but you feel sort of stupid, and you think, I've been here for 5 hours. Mal shuts his shop, comes up, and in about 8 casts, 6 or 8 casts, boom, he's got a barbel on. There you go, Graham, you do it like that. Just keep the feed going in. Look, now I'm sort of my own worst enemy. I'm still sitting, waiting, you know. So maybe that 5 minutes while I'm talking has gone. The feed is empty. The fish have gone back up under wherever on the edge of the, you know, rushes and weeds and stuff like that over there. Overhangs, certainly under that tree, I feel. The other thing with luncheon meat is it's really tempting. Tip out a whole tin, cut it all up, and put it in your bait box. It's just me, you know, saying this. I find just cut up enough that you need for half a dozen casts like this, because down in the bait tin, it's nice and cool. Keep it in the shade. Some people actually cube it up, put it in a bait tub with water in it to keep it cool, to stop it going to skinning up. Like even here, this is fresh stuff. It's still starting to skin up a bit. So if I get the knife, just cut a piece of that off. Right, so that's fresh, but you can see around the edge there, it's been in the sun. If I trim that back, look at the different colour, much fresher. And I've got a feeling, you know, that's all you've got to do, rather than cut the whole tin up and then leave it in the sun and it dries out and crust over. Makes it too dried out, and then you get a bite and miss it. It's just another totally awesome tip that you can always you know, if it has dried out, you can trim the edges off it, albeit a bit smaller, and still use it. Or put it in some water like that, in some water in a bait tin. One more minute and I'm going to cast out again. Right, on the right hand one, look. Small fish, I say it's a small chub, just tugging at the luncheon meat. Also what happens, sometimes the smaller fish will come up to the luncheon meat, or indeed any bait, bigger baits, nibble and tug away at it, and you see the bites like this all the time. And then it goes quiet, and that means watch out, because invariably a big chub or a big barbel has moved into the swim, pushed the small fish off, which means the bites suddenly stop, and the next thing you know the rod has buckled over and you've got a decent fish on. That's happened to me many times. Same with carp fishing, you know. If you're fishing margin fishing, you're getting lots of nibbles on the bait, it goes quiet. Invariably it's because the big carp's moved in. Right, time to bait up. Well, it's gone a little bit quiet now. Also got snagged up, lost one feeder, so that's settled for that. After all those fish, and it wasn't a bite, just a tap, and when I struck it was into a rock or something like that. I've rigged up just a single hook on a upper size. I'm using a size 4 wide gate, always like wide gate hooks. Using one of those with a big piece of luncheon meat. I've queued up some fresh luncheon meat, and I'm going to put my waders on and a bait apron, a matched bait apron, and see if I can wade out a bit, bring this other one in and roll a bit of meat around and see if I can't pick up a fish like that, either chub and or a barbel. So I'm 7, 6 and 1. 7 barbel, 6 chub, 1 brown trout. It's gone quiet, so I figure I'll go looking for them now. So I've got the waders on. Can use one of these. Maybe I haven't seen one of these, they're dead handy for wading. It's a bait apron. Shame they don't do an adjustment on the neck. I could do it a little bit shallower. So you've got places to put ground bait, what's called a ground bait pouch there, and then you've got, say, maggots you can put in there, and then bits of tackle up the top. Basically you don't want to get wet. So all I do is take some luncheon meat with me, and you guys can join me out there. Fish on, guys. First run down with a moving bait like that. It's liable to be a chub, small chub I'd say. Yeah, for some reason they like the moving bait better. Here he comes. Of course, here we don't need a net at all. So I've got the line across my fingers here, just there. I can also see the quiver tip, and if the light's right I can watch the bow in the line where it enters the water there. Like it's on the bottom at the moment, so I've got to tug it to move it. Should lift it off. Now it's off, it's bumping. I would like it bumping a little bit faster. I might have to go to a lighter shot. I know you say, but you've already had a fish gram, yeah, but it's a small one. I'm fancying over under those trees. Missed him. Just catching up a bit on the bottom there. Sometimes you can tug it free. I think the meat's come. I don't think the meat's still on there. I'm fancying down below that bush, to be honest. There's one there and there's another tree falling down over there. Sort of a hole there. I quite fancy having a roll a piece of meat through there. Right, I'm going to switch off, guys, until I get a hookup. Have a small chub look, guys. Well, it's actually almost a chub. I think anything over about pound and a half is a chub. Here he comes. There we go, yeah. I'd like to catch that on a match rod and a stick float. I've got some fresh bait and I've had to put a jump on because it's a bit dropping a bit of temperature now. I just go in, but I always leave that point showing. I'm throwing in from my pouch some just loose stuff, and then following up straight behind that. No barbel takes yet. Quite a few small chub. I can just in that dark line, dark area, see the line as well, so I can tell when it stops, when it's hung in the bottom or it's a fish. It's just trying to get that pace right, getting it held high like this with the meat bumping around. I don't want to hold the rod down here because I'm going to pull it into the sticks and stones and stuff. Very often you pick a barbel up. There's a rapid just here, shallows up. Very often you can pick a fish up just in front of the rapids there. I'm not going to hold a great deal of interest doing this because it's more of a summer technique really than cold water. You know, end of June, July, August, those sort of times. But you never know. It's not something I do really in the winter. It'd be more up there feeder, where I am there, feeder fishing. But I figure it's worth a throw. There's a bang. That's a chub. It's always worth a throw for barbel. A couple more runs through here, and then I'm going to move down to that fallen tree there. I feel like I barely want a treble A shot. The pace is not fast enough to lift it. Or you can use a piece of Play-Doh on there for a bit of casting where it doesn't snag quite as much as a shot. But I am not getting many bumps, and you can skip it back across the surface. Look, just lift it like this, then wind down the slack, and that way hopefully you'll get another cast out of the meat. Or not. Oh, still a decent pace here, but it's absolutely covered with this brown algae all over it. I'm not even going to put my camera underwater to show you. Hopefully you can see that. I mean, I've got polarizing glasses. I'm going to do this rolling the meat around for a while because it's clouding up. They do say rain, so I'll be up there ledgering if it's just rain. Won't be doing this getting soaking wet. Slight drop off over there. I wouldn't surprise me if there's a fish laying in there. That's a sort of classic. Oh, I missed it. I think it was a chub. You can see the pace has picked up there. Yeah, if I don't do any good with this, I'm going to be finishing off sitting up there, and hopefully I can pick an extra fish or two off. There's got to be barbel in there, surely. I'm getting taps, but I'm missing them. They must be small chub. I took the shot off and got a fish straight away, but it will be chub. Small one. Yeah, look, they're nice fish, aren't they? All a good sign of the future. Sometimes you can actually see the meat and then see the meat disappear where a fish has got hold of it. But I'm pretty sure I saw it go then. Somebody took it in and spat it out. Well, I've been wading all the way down, trying all the likely looking spots I can, and I've had just small chub. All I'm getting all the time are these small chub. So I'm wondering, they obviously don't want it perhaps moving, they want it static. That one's static, it's gone up the tree. So I might make this a last cast. Lovely setting though, look at that up there. Plenty of rain in the clouds, I fear. So that's the other reason I'm thinking of maybe going back and just sitting it out. Because once you wade out, you realise actually where you're fishing isn't that deep at all. But I'm not getting any real taps and bangs or anything. It's most peculiar. When you're really rolling meat like this, you just get hammered by the chub, especially the small chub. But I'm just getting, oh, I've had about 6 chub to a pound, you know, that sort of size, pounders. No barbel, so I guess I might just sit up there and see if I can get one more barbel out of it. It's not as deep as I thought it was up there. Well, it's 4:10. It's pitch black at 7. Got 2.5 hours. I think I just have 20 minutes just up here. If you look up there, there's a bit more current coming through. I don't know if there's a swim up there or not, but I don't know if there's nobody fishing up there. It's a bit windy around there. I've got to have a throw there, and then I'll just come back here and just sit here plonking out the feeder so we get one more barbel. Well, I've come right up here to what we call the beach, and I'm just rolling a piece of meat around here, and I'm getting not one bite. It's most peculiar. Very windy here. Turn into the wind. I think the rain is coming, but I'm getting no taps, no bites, no nothing. It's very strange. I think the chub will be all over this lunch of meat. The cunt's pushing over there. I'm going to try a few casts down there, and then I'll just go back and finish off with the feeders. I can see the bow and the line here perfectly, so no taps, pulls, nothing. Switch the camera. I switch the camera off, guys, press the button, and felt a tap right down by that bush. And it could be a barbel. It would be nice if it was. I've left my net there purely because I've got waders. I'm pretty sure this is a barbel. I'm going to walk down and try and get below him if I can, because I don't know what this is like for, you know, snags or anything like that. I'm on the last battery. I think I went walkabout leaving the camera switched on. Yeah, it ain't a chub. Oh, I know he's fighting because I'm level with him. Well, that could be worth the walk. Oh, he's twanging a bit. Oh dear. Oh, good fish. Let's have a look at this kitty. I'm looking at it, I'm going all quiet because it could be fish of the day. Trying to see where I was, I might come here tomorrow. There he comes. See if I can get in. Now he's about the same size as the others. Ooh. Come on, babe, come on. What a scrapper, look at that rod. An Avon rod, cranked right over. And a Hampshire fisherman cranked right up. Oh, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. Look at that, guys, against that. What a setting. That's fish of the day. I know he's going to go 6. 6, I'd say. Wow, beaut. Oh, that was worth the move, I know. Goodness me, I better have another throw there. I hope my gear's all right down the end. Wound it all in. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. That was worth those extra few casts, even in the cold. Now I've got to remember where I was when I hooked up. I was somewhere off this point, but I was rolled way down, I think, towards that fallen bush again. Goodness me. Nice fish. Well pleased. 8 barbel. 8. It's about 4.25. Strange bite, like what I call a soft bite. Had quite a belly in the line. The next run down with the meat, right down the bottom there. I've got to get out the water and get below this fish. He's peeling me out. It's peeling me out. Oh, he's really stripping me. It might be a big one. That's a good fish. I can tell by the bending of the rod. It just holds it over, just holds it in the current, and I'm level with it now. Trying to get him to make him to fight the current as well. Come on, Mr. Fish. Oh my God, if I could get 9, you know what I'd be looking for if I got to 9. I think I'm level with him. Right, I'll get in a second. I can see him out there. You won't see him, but I can see him with the polarising glasses. Whoa! Ooh. Oh, he's going right out again. No, 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 don't go down there. Don't go down. He's been coming nice and smooth. Then I wind down, but you can see as I wind down, he can turn around. Here he comes. I think he's a tad bigger. I think he's a tad bigger. Wow. He didn't like that shallow water. I can't believe I've been a year and a quarter since I went barbel fishing. I just suddenly decided my first barbel trip in October. There he comes. He's going to go off again. Oh, it's a nice fish. Oh no, I might have to get the net for this one, people. I think this one's a netter. Back the drag. Just going to walk him up slowly. He's coming up with me, look, see, so the spool's not turning. This one, 100%, 100% fish of the day. That's a nice barbel. God, he only just goes in. Oh my word. Oh, beautiful fish. Hopefully I'm not filling my waders up. That's a great fish. Well worth the trip alone. 9 barbel in a day. Yeah. Come on, buddy. Look at that one. Oh, get in. 9 barbel, one, I don't know what it was, close to 8. I've got to have another cast, and I've got to have another cast. Guys, straight away, next cast down, I'm in again. 3 runs down, 3 barbel. It's getting silly now because I haven't got enough batteries. I'm in a B&B tonight. I'll be draining all the electric from the grid to charge all my batteries up for tomorrow. I'm just going to run it with a camera in my mouth, guys. It's a smaller fish, I think. If you can get down below with a barbel, he's got to fight the rod and he's got to fight the current. Come here, buddy. Look at that. 10 barbel, boys. 10 barbel. I've got to have another cast. You can't not. I mean, 3 barbel in 3 runs down, rolled meat. As me saying, perhaps they don't want rolled meat. Perhaps it's a question of finding the fish. Maybe it's a little bit deeper over that side. I don't know. I don't know the river. I'm not a local. I just come fishing. I have to suss it out on the day. But maybe it is deeper that side. I don't know. I don't care. 3 runs down, 3 barbel. Oh my god! And I can just see my line pace there, which is dead handy. I mean, doubtless you could probably float fish for these guys as well. This is just my way of fishing, you know, free lining, touch ledgering, and it trundle down as light a weight as you can get to keep it near the bottom. Well, it seems to be lucky when I switch the camera off, so I'm going to switch it off again, guys. Well, hang on a second. That was about where I had a take. So I ran out of bait up at that other swing. Come back to the base camp, I'm calling it, and I'm just going to finish off the last hour here. Sun's going round, it's going to get dark and it's going to get cold. They always said tonight it's going to be a cold one. I think the cloud will clear, and I can tidy up here, and I don't want to be wheeling back. I have got a head torch. I have got a head torch. I've had one small chub, by the way, so I've got a head torch to find my way back, but I don't want to be, you know, dropping gear in the dark. And I've got about 15-20 minute walk back. Look. I think he's on. Little one. No, missed him. Yeah, I'm just going to stay here, and I'll get out of my rubbers. Yeah, mine's going. Look at the other one. Look at the other. Look there. And I've got that one, I think. Yeah. There he is. So I'm going to get out of these rubbers, get out of these, get myself, put my lippy on, get myself suitably attired in shoes, because I ain't walking back 20 minutes in a pair of rubber boots. And we might get lucky with one more of those Mr. Whiskers. Hello there. I'm still going. I've gone back to the other swim. I've had about 4 or 5 chub. We've got a decent one here. I've lost a couple of sets of gear for some unknown reason. This one's a netter. No more barbel. How terrible, I'm stuck on 10. Here he comes, here he comes. That's a nice chub, that's a nice one. That's nice to finish off with, guys, look at that. This is a 7th chub, not the little ones, look. That's a 7th chub that I've had, what I call decent size 3s and stuff like that. What a session I've had, unbelievable. A few throws left, and then, do you know what, up the pub for a celebratory beer. Brilliant, what a session. They told me it wasn't fishing very well. I'd hate to be when it was fishing well, blimey. My chair's finally falling to pieces, people. I doubt it's going to last tomorrow. I've got 2 days up here. I wonder what tomorrow's going to be. Where should I go? Somebody tell me. Should I come back to this swim? No, I think I'm going to go down that other one that I just had those on with the rolling meat and try that one because it's a bigger stretch. It's a shallow up there, so I figure I won't pull fish up from way downstream. Maybe I would do. And now, no more barbel, just the odd chub. And that last chub was on the ledge, just on a ledge of weight, because I lost a couple of sets of gear, and I thought I'm going to save the swim feeders, my cage ones, the homemade ones. I'm going to save what I've got for tomorrow, because I think that swim might come pretty good if it was baited well, and I've got plenty of bait left. So I'm down to about 30 minutes, I won't allow time for going back. And there were bigger barbel up that swim up there. I found those 3 I caught were bigger fish. I'm getting bites now. I look at the camera and it goes, but they will be chub. The barbel will just fold it. What a session. Well, people, more chub, more small chub. That's all I've had. No more barbel, so it's 7 good chub, about 50 small ones. But 7 between 2.5, 3.5. 10 barbel to 8 pounds, and 2 brown trout. So I've done really well. Thanks for watching Totally Awesome Fishing Show. We'll see you again. I hope it's as good a fishing as this. Hit the subscribe button if you want. Even hit the like button as well if you feel that way inclined. I've got to pack up now because I know I've got a 20-minute yomp back through the jungle, I'm going to call it. Got all that Himalayan balsam and stingers and bits of bramble and slippery roots and all that stuff. So, fingers crossed, we'll see you in the next programme and it'll be as eventful as this one. Can't take my eyes off the rod, that.